Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh baked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love. Tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales. Plus, rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is Kurt Eager. You're listening to 93.9 The Bill, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Team Brumage selects 6'5", 220-pound freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, Trey Davis. Oh, it's a big time! It's a big time soccer! Let's go. It's a 3-on-3. It's a 3 draft. Steve Trevor Smith, DeAndre Davis, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. Oh, B-Hall. Every time. Oh, B-Hall. That's slow it. Slow it down, B-Hall. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I lose my breath. I lose my breath, B-Hall. Oh, Steve, how's it going?
I love this team. I love them. I love my babies, Marcus. I love them. Oh, I love watching them. And I'm watching them grow every day. And I'm watching them grow every game. And I just am absolutely in love with the squad, baby. I love it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. I'm echoing real good on your end, Steve. Yeah, pull that sound down a little bit. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150-93.9 is the number. 3831-93.9 is the text line. YouTube channel is made for the Bill up and running people. Steve Revich, Tennessee. Brian Hall in the booth.
Listen, I mean, it's going to be another fun day, which is been the theme of this season so far. So we're enjoying it. We're going to get to everything. We're going to enjoy this game. We're going to enjoy this process, and we're going to bring you in along with us today to break everything down.
I opened up the phone lines early. I opened up the text lines early. Steve, going into the game, we knew Western Kentucky. The biggest thing that scared us about Western Kentucky is their age. We knew they had one of the, we agreed at saying top 5 big men in the country. And I think if people saw any basketball around the world or around the country yesterday, it would be easy to say Charles Bassey is in the top 5 big men in the country. Would you say that, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, without a question, that doesn't change, and it didn't change last night. I mean, he was good again, you know, and we'll talk about some things Louisville made him do, some things he did to Louisville that hurt Louisville, that we can break down a little bit. But at the end of the day,
okay, going into the game, you knew you were playing against a Western Kentucky team that felt like they got off to a bad start last year and kind of got behind the eight ball. They were wanting revenge, in-state rivalry vibe to a game against, again, young college players against old college players. It's always a tough matchup. I am so proud of the way those young men accounted for themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Macro.
Oh yeah, macro from a fan's point of view. You know, we're coming into the game. We know it's, and I'm not going to change my sentiment. At my deepest core, I still said you're still Louisville, and you still should have and do have better players. I know Mitch cut that as a clip and played it, or they thought that was funny when I said that Louisville has better players the other day. So, haha, that was a good joke. So, but I still say that Louisville you have better players. I mean, than Western Kentucky. Like, let's not when it's all, you know, when the rubber meets the road. I mean, now that doesn't mean that you don't have experience on the Western Kentucky side. I mean, look, Kentucky has better players than Kansas and Richmond, but that doesn't mean that they didn't get that rear end wax. So, like, I mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't fully paint the picture. But when I saw going into that game, as I'm sitting here, I'm preparing for the game, Sam's not playing, Hollingsworth is playing. I go, okay, all right. I know I got post game. I'm like, okay, this might be one. They might have taken L on this one, you know, and then to watch that game, and again, I'm just going to macro it, and then we'll zoom in. But to watch that game start the way it started, and you've got another team coming out kind of hot, you know, and it's like, ugh, you know, and you're watching that big man, and you're like, yeah, he's every bit as good as advertised. Like, ooh, this may be troubling. And just to watch again this team with this ability that they have to just zoom in to play by play, possession by possession, game by game, and to watch them figure. Every game has felt like a game of chess, and that's what I love about this team. And they're going to lose those sometimes. They're going to lose those matches at chess sometimes. But to watch them figure out on the court, okay, this is what we got to do. This is what's going to work. This is what's not going to work. And to watch them come out with that win yesterday was about as good of a feeling as you've had in a while. Because, again, we love this. You say it all the time. Louisville fans enjoy, and if you're not a Louisville fan, you scoff when Louisville fans say this. You enjoy being the hunter. Like, you love coming from that spot. Now, I also love being the top 5 team too. Don't get me wrong, you know. But even then, we try to portray ourselves as like, well, hey, but we're 4th, and they say 1, 2, and 3, you can't touch. You know what I'm saying? So you try to, but it is fun watching this. And last year when we beat Michigan in that game, and when we, you know, when you're number 1, you're playing top 5, like there is a rush that comes with that too. But there is a rush that's equally as awesome watching these guys figure this out, man. And last night was just every bit of that and more.
I've got to get to these phone lines. Feel free to jump in on these people. I want to know your emotions, and do they match mine? Jason, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Start us off right.
Good.
Jason, listen, I appreciate the call. Jason, only a basketball eyeball could see that, though. You know, you can look at the stats and see he doesn't, you know, register too hard on the on the stat sheet, but if you saw it and you saw the calls he got and you saw him catching up on the speed a little bit, Steve, see if you can pull that sound down just a little bit more. I'm still getting a nice little echo off of you. Yeah. If you looked really, if you're a real basketball person and looked up close, you're like, this kid's gonna help. This kid's definitely gonna help this team. Plumber Chuck, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away. Feeling good, Plumber Chuck.
Appreciate that.
That's awesome. You know, I appreciate the call, Plumber Chuck. You know I did a post game. You knew I was going to do a post game from the beginning. Brian Hall, Texans are wondering, are you okay?
To answer your question, I'm doing fine today. I'm more excited about the Louisville victory. Western will bounce back; they'll be fine, and everything is good in the world of Brian Hall right now.
And people do know Brian's a West Kentucky grad, so like I mean, he's
it's my alma mater. So I mean,
allowed to like them.
yeah, it's my alma mater, and I've always said that I go for Western whenever they're not playing Louisville, and it is a bittersweet game, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, you get the excitement of Louisville playing so well, and then you get a little bit of the, man, Western, could have done a little bit better in that game. But to be honest with you, I woke up feeling really good today about the Louisville basketball team and where the future looks.
So you felt like you didn't get your best effort out of
Western?
Out of Western.
The first half they came out and played pretty well. I think Baskey got a little, for some reason, every time Western plays Louisville, Bassey kind of tenses up almost. I mean, there was a lot of times where he was settling for threes, and he can actually hit those threes. But I think that was part of Mac's game plan is, look, we know Bassey can hit those threes, but we like our chances with him shooting threes better than him dominating down low. So let's give him a little bit of space because we'll know he'll take those threes, and we'll just take it if he hits one of them. We'll just, roll with that. But he settled for that a little bit. He didn't play bad. I think, honestly, the biggest issue with Western Kentucky was their point guard play. I mean, Carlik Jones, basically, I don't know if he rattled the two point guards that Western plays, but Rawls looked okay off the bench. But outside of him, Davion McKnight had a couple costly mistakes. He had a 5-second call. He had a 10-second call. He had a couple turnovers.
Backcourt thing.
And then Kenny Cooper, this is, his fourth game with Western, and he is not a guy that should take over a game. And he decided that he wanted to, take some shots that normally I wouldn't suggest him taking. He's a good point guard, but he didn't show his senior leadership last night. They struggled at the point guard position, and I'm going to credit Carlik Jones a little bit for maybe rattling those Louisville point guards with his defense.
Brian,
or the Western point guard. Sorry.
He totally had to get that off his chest, people.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. We talked about this a little bit in the post-game show. It was interesting to watch, and this is what I talk about a game of chess. It was interesting to watch because Charles Bassey, you did feel like could eat down low if he wanted to. He began to kind of settle for the three and stuff. And I said, okay, I think our bigs are playing pretty well, but I don't think our bigs are scaring him out of the lane. So I'm saying, okay, I'm rewatching. I'm saying, okay, what's going on here? And to Brian's point, what I realized was, and this is a Coach Mac thing, and this is a credit to Carlik and David and Dre and those guys, they were giving the guards such trouble And again, this is where we talked about yesterday. Y'all don't think Mac don't have a counterpunch for Bassey? They were making it so difficult for those guards to get the ball into Bassey that as a big, and I played big, and I know a lot of other people have too, there's nothing more frustrating than 5-6 times down the court with somebody when you know you can eat the game and you can't get the rock. So it's like, okay, well, then I'm going to go out here and get it where I can get it. And now I'm going to try to make moves. And here's the thing. Bassey's a top 5 big man in the country. He's not a top 5 perimeter player.
Yep, right.
So we made him start to play from the perimeter, and that is Jalen's house. That's Trainer's house. And then you took that matchup, and the guards forced that matchup off the block onto the wing, and that was a matchup that Jalen and JJ could win.
Did you see Jalen Withers get their attention early with Charles Bassey, and he does the little move, one dribble pull up, and just backs Bassey right up off of him, like maybe like the first bucket of the game. It to me it showed that Jalen Withers was coming to play today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that was coming off the other end of David causing a Charles Bassey turnover in the first play. So I mean, they stuck with what they knew worked. Western come out, and they were shooting the ball well. They were knocking down shots, and it was like, oh, you know, this one might be. I thought, if nothing else, this is going to be down to the wire, you know,
right?
But they just wore them out. And they figured it out, and they trusted what they were doing, and it worked. And in the second half, Louisville dominated. They dominated that second half, and that felt good. I mean, it felt good. I mean, that game was maybe once in the second half. Did you think? Well, maybe. Other than that, it felt like this game's over. Who's going to win this game? I didn't know they were going to pull it out to 20-something, but I mean, it was like
they ended up winning by 21.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we're going to try. We're going to take an early first commercial break. I'm going to try to get this echo fixed a little bit. I hate drawing people's attention to it so much, but quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.
Steve Rummage here from 93.9 The Ville, and I want to tell you about Vitality Wellness and Weight Loss. Vitality is a safe, effective weight loss program that is tailored to your body. With Vitality, you'll get a personalized food list and supplements based on your needs. Vitality is science-based, and in your first visit, you go through a complete body scan and be assigned a personal specialist. In the first week, I was down 16 pounds. So go to vitalitylouisville.com or call 502-442-2117 and let them know you heard about it right here from Steve Rummage and 93.9 The Ville.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
LeVar Ball is going to call Michael Jordan. What's going on with my son?
I'd pay like $2.99 a minute to get to listen to that phone call, wouldn't you?
God, Jordan doesn't call him back. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like Jordan didn't call LeVar back. You're wrong. Jordan wants to take that phone call. He can't wait to call LeVar Ball like 300 times.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
AMP Realty reminds us that many veterans returning home from service are in need of work. Many have valuable professional skills that can benefit your company. That message is from retired veteran Todd Martin, owner of AMP Realty, who offers complete real estate services on all residential properties. If you're thinking of buying or selling, call the real estate pros at 502-220-4663 or visit amprealty.com. They'll find that perfect home or get a sold sign in your yard. AMP Realty, serving all of Kentucky and Indiana. Hire smart, hire vets.
Here's what you missed on the Diener Show.
Are you going to buy the twig from Crate and Barrel? The lit twig?
I might just do it just to tick you off.
Dude,
like, I don't think it's as bad as you. I mean, I think it's a little overpriced, but I don't think it's like, I think it's a nice decoration.
This will be the worst purchase since the coolest.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
After all we've been through this year, Genesis Diamonds wants to help make your 2020 end on a truly magical note with an over-the-top holiday gift your loved one will cherish forever. So we're offering the most aggressive financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase with nothing down. Imagine getting the Halo engagement ring of her dreams for only $100 a month, a diamond tennis bracelet or stunning eternity band for only $50 a month, or a pair of diamond studs for just $30 a month and with no money down. Everything's included. All GIA certified diamonds, all engagement rings, all wedding rings, 3 and 5 stone rings, dainty diamond studs, our new and trendy diamond hoops, diamond tennis bracelets, emerald and sapphire jewelry, Swiss timepieces. Genesis has the best bridal designers in the world, plus a selection like that of 50 stores combined. Let Genesis Diamonds non-commissioned experts help you find that perfect gift. Buy it with no money down and finance it for 5 years at 0% interest. Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open this Sunday on approved credit.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529. Office is Louisville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Nine is the station. I see the YouTube line or the YouTube channel. Everybody's getting petty in the comment section with the Devin Askew comments. Someone says, hopefully no one tells Withers, Davis, or JJ they aren't supposed to be any good. Coach Mack has got them playing some really, really good basketball. I don't want you to feel like I know what you're saying. And Texter, I do appreciate you. Texter kind of apologized for nagging about the echoing, but I don't hear the echoing now. Do you, Brian? Sounds pretty good.
I don't hear it. Good job, Steve.
Good job.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So maybe we got something going here.
Yeah,
then,
you sound great now too, coming through the air. Yeah, it sounds really good.
Sound better.
Okay, so Steve, is it time to get into real deal nerdy basketball, talk about the team? You hosted the post-game show. I want you to take whatever energy came from the post-game, like what your players of the game, your defensive guys, like where do you start and where do you go when talking about the game last night?
Well, I'll tell you where I start, and it was easy. Well, here's the problem. It was kind of tough, but when picking the player of the game, I ended up going. I mean, the obvious thought there was Dre Davis, because Dre Davis had 21. Again, he comes up with big plays. He was my number one pick. You know, I mean, like it was all about, I was excited about Dre Davis, but I couldn't. And I usually try to separate the player of the game and the defensive player of the game. So I thought, well, okay, I could just pick Dre Davis as the player of the game here. And then the defensive player of the game, I could give David some love.
Right.
But I couldn't do it. I think last night starts with David Johnson. And again, Carlik's
was David Johnson the point guard last night?
Oh, that here and well, that's one of the reasons why it starts. I said this multiple times on the postgame show last night. If you think about it, how many times with the Ray Spalding, Jalen Johnson thing did we go, we either get one or the other. One plays well, the other one plays crappy. It's one or the other every single time. And that was starting to be a worry in the first two games with David and Carlik to me. Like, okay, are they going to be able to figure this out and play together? Well, over Prairie View and Western, I've started to see them say, okay, they're figuring this out, like how to play, because Carlik ended up with solid stats
Listen,
as well.
without the other one just being a shooter. Because that's what you were worried about. One of them was going to be driving, and you were going to turn the other one into an actual just stand out on the perimeter shooting guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I saw flow in transition. I saw him, Steve. I saw them jogging, pushing the ball up the court off of rebounds, and getting right into the pick and rolls. I begged for that so much last year. It drove me crazy. It looked like they got into fluid motions and swung the ball early, and you could see them working off each other at the beginning of possessions.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And again, like I said, they're both having solid games, and they're not in spite of each other. And David Johnson last night, I mean, we're talking 8 assists. I think he ended up with 17 points. 4 steals, and that goes back to I ended up making him defensive player of the game and player of the game. So, I mean, I thought he really kind of in 39 minutes, and if you're on the YouTube channel, we got the stats here, which that's nice to have. But, I mean, you're looking at him and Carlik together, 17, 8, and 6, 18, 4, and 6. Like,
wait, David Johnson, 17, 8, and 6.
Yeah, and I guess I know most people do points, rebounds, assists. So maybe 17, 6, and 8, 18, 6, and 4. I mean, and both of them played 39 minutes. Now, that could be something that you look at and go, okay, we do need to find, and maybe that's Nickelberry. Maybe that's Nickelberry. We'll see. But we do need to find some lineup or somebody, which I think Nickelberry, I think when you get Minlin and Sam back, there'll be a lot more opportunity there to go Sam, Minlin, Nickelberry, Dre, somebody at the 2.
But remember this. Here's the thing, Steve. I thought about that probably somewhere in between me pouring my evening cocktail for the Kentucky post-game show and actually, starting the show. I thought about that. And then I kind of went back to picturing a game. You can put Carlik on the bench for some time, and when David Johnson is your point, you're running the team just fine. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a rest thing. So, and our offense doesn't have like a crazy amount of motion, right? So Carlik, when you look at those minutes, when you look at Carlik's minutes on a high motion team, it looks bad. But if you go back and look at the times David Johnson was doing his thing, Carlik was jogging to his spot, jogging, and then playing hard defense in the pack line style defense.
Yeah.
So it's like your mileage, your usage rate for Carlik and David aren't really that bad. And when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, listen, Sam, David, and DeAndre, like Quinn and Jalen, that's a lineup you're comfortable with. Like you don't feel like you're losing. It's not like the LeBron effect when he goes to the bench. You have to be up 12, and then when he comes back in the game, you're only up 1. Like every time you go out,
right.
Yeah, like I think both of those guys are good enough point guards that you don't lose too much when they go out the game. And we're talking about short-term rest. We're not talking about like 10 minutes on the bench for Carlik or something like that.
Yeah, but there's absolutely, I mean, look, hey, when they play Duke or when they play Carolina or Virginia, hey, if they need to go 39, let's go 39. Like,
are you much less afraid of Duke now? They didn't look intimidating.
No, they didn't. But I mean, they're still, they're a different type of team. They're I mean, even to an extent, I mean, Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, they're a different type of athlete that I'm also interested to see our guys match up with, because it's a different style than what we've played, I think, so far. Not that they're better athletes or so what. It's just it's a little more.
Stop sending me stuff in the middle of the show.
I know, right? but anyways, I mean, I think that when you look at it and you can get because like I said, when you play those teams, if they need to go 39 together, so be it. But in a lot of these other games, they're going to be able, I think, to go with David, Dre, Minlin, Sam, somebody, a JJ or something like that, and get a few minutes a pop here from each one. But again, that's projecting out a little bit, and I know that's something that we're fighting to do.
Let me go through a couple of text lines. The first one is the most offensive. Nobody told me Davis was that good.
Excuse me?
Texter 4005 says, nobody told me Davis was that good.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. if you listen to this show, we told you for a while Davis was pretty good.
Dre Davis post-game interview. Dude is hungry to learn and grow. It's like Carlik plays with a patience and IQ that he gets whatever he wants whenever he wants it. Boy, this is a fan base that loves basketball. Watching Carlik working off the pick and roll is a thing of beauty we haven't seen since maybe Siva. Not being, oh goodness, listen to this one. Not being a Debbie Downer, but should I even go on with that? But we know that non-shooting UK team will shoot the lights out again. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Say yes. You didn't have to. You could have kept that one totally to yourself. It's because we finally have an all MAC rotation. No Patino guys on the court. Malik comes back. It's a MAC team.
Well, yeah, and I'm looking at our chat on here, and somebody says, I disagree. Steve, David, and Carly can play together a couple of games. David, listen, let me clean that up, because that's not what I'm saying at all. And maybe that's what it sounded like. I think David and Carlik should play together majority of the time.
Right.
I'm saying maybe 39 minutes, not for them not playing together, but for their own health. You can't just go 39 apiece, because there's going to be games
I don't know
where David
with the you're thinking about it. Maybe you're thinking about it like a regular type of season, and it's not a regular type of season.
Well, truthfully, any of these guys are physically capable of playing 39 minutes. It's more so you play 39 minutes a game, your chance of injury goes way, way, way up.
I wish Aiden Gahan would have dunked that basketball.
Listen, I totally get what that caller said earlier. I love what Aiden's given us, man. I mean, he is a work in progress, but even the one that ended up not counting.
Wait, what happened with that?
I think they said it was a shot clock violation. Maybe
that was an and one, Steve.
Is what they said. Yeah. So, but I mean, he caught it. I mean, and went straight up and
powered through.
Had there been a half a second more, he would have got an and one. And I feel like he can hit free throws. He knocked down the jumper. I mean, I thought he was pretty well last night. He did get lost 3 times, and unfortunately, all 3 of those times resulted in a bucket. So he'll see that on film. So there's still things there.
He has so much to learn, but it's okay. Like I said, his mistakes, you start to see why you can start to put up with a couple of his mistakes. And then the faster he gets, the more relaxed he gets, the better he's going to start playing. Reggie, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maben. What's on your mind?
Fellas, it's a good day today. Duke lost, UK lost. Let's get it. The boys won. Man, I'm so excited right now. I got a homie up in Indy. His little brother is friends with Dre Davis, and he called me before Dre even committed to us and was like, "Hey, you about to get Dre Davis? He's gonna commit." And I was like, "What? Tell me something about him." He said, "Hey, you're getting a stud. You're getting a player." So I didn't believe him, But now that boy got on the court and is out there balling. Woo!
What do you like the most about him?
I just like his toughness. He's a dog, like on defense and rebounding. He's not afraid. He doesn't look like a freshman. He's playing like he's a junior. So and I'm just excited that they're playing good, and we're still missing 4 players. I think the ceiling is high for this team. I really do. And I heard Lil Nutty that we might be getting his brother too. Y'all have a good day, fellas.
Oh, I appreciate the call. Little nuggets about possible getting little brothers. Boy, is he going to have so much pressure on? Look, is baby Dre Davis going to have so much pressure on?
Yes. Yes.
Start now, dominate now.
Yeah, because the little brother's always better, right? I mean, no matter. I mean, people listen. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if the kid is
a
2-star.
Listen,
and
we were complaining about Lil Fitzpatrick not playing game one, Steve.
Yeah, it's like because I'm like,
he's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger than Dez. He should be playing now.
It's just better. Yeah. So the Plumleys, each one, it was like, each one gets better and better and better. And it's like, no, the middle one was better. I don't like. No, the youngest is not better than Mason was the best.
The Matthews, who else?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. No. Anybody, the younger brother's better. So yeah. Tay Davis will come in with a pretty large expectation, I would say.
Right. Ray, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's going on, fellas, man? I'm at work right now, so I apologize if it gets a little loud. But
sorry.
Hey, man, I was one on the stream, on YouTube stream last night, Real Deal One, that made a comment about the freshman getting a significant minute. And I just had another point, man. At the end of the game, man, we're coming to a little bit of a lull. You know what I'm saying? Where kind of cardiac card feeling kind of set in a little bit. It was good to see Carleek that kind of gather the guys back in and galvanize us, man, to get a strong close, man. So I just don't think you can beat having them coaches and that kind of leadership on the floor.
No, listen, that's an absolute fact. I appreciate the call. Actually, the thing that made me comfortable last year was our big man's ability to shoot free throws. We look like we have a good shooting free throw team, and you combine that with a Carleek who is not shaky with the ball at all. Like I said, biggest complaint that I'll have probably coming out of the game is I want to clean up the press break. I want to clean up the press break. We got to clean up the press break. I don't like that even getting put on film, even though we finished the press break with buckets most of the time. I think with bigger, better athletes that could get us in a little bit of trouble. And I don't want to see guys pressing up on Carleek Jones an entire game, wearing him down and having to do one-man press breaks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, once we get into the nitpicking stage of this game, that's one of them. Absolutely. Again, Louisville won the rebounding battle.
Chris Curry says LaMelo and LiAngelo. You're right about that one.
Yeah, that's another one too. Even though I think the youngest is going to be the best in that group. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we can definitely get into the nitpicking stage, and that was one of them. But you're getting that on film right now, and you're getting it on film with a win. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Learning with wins is nothing like it, especially for a coach. You're going to have to talk about what Coach Mack's attitude was like after the game, after this call. Joel, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Man, you guys ain't talked about that Dre Davis kid at all. I didn't even.
I know, right? Man.
Nah, man. I mean, my thing is, man, I will say to Louisville fans out there, look, this isn't something we're used to. So you I don't know what you want to call it, past trauma as far as, well, are we this good, or is this, what is this, and things like that. And I say that because now you always get these people that once the game's over and Louisville's won, then that team, maybe they're not as good as we thought. And I say that because, we hear Seton Hall, you get people that say, well, they didn't get to practice for 14 days and maybe, they caught them at the right time. That's probably why they won. Well, then you get the Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's picked to win Conference USA. They gave West Virginia all they wanted. They're a good team. And then they started to slant the narrative again last night. Well, maybe Western Kentucky's not as good as we thought. Louisville's beaten two good teams in the past week. Seton Hall's a good team. Western Kentucky's a good team. Just accept that. It's not because, well, maybe they're not as good as we thought because Louisville won. Look, man, I mean, at the end of the day, we're seeing something. We said this yesterday that Louisville fans haven't seen, and we're not sure how to accept it because we're seeing freshmen on the floor straight out of high school producing Not saying, hey, we got to give this guy time and we got to wait another year or two. These guys are producing right off the bat, which is something we're definitely not used to, which, I mean, it's awesome to see, man. Now, granted, again, these guys are, I don't want to have the show, which is going to come where, you know, you play a Wisconsin or you play, you know, one of these conference games in the next few weeks, whatever. They're going to take some lumps. People have to understand that, but let's just enjoy the moment. Louisville fans can't ever enjoy the moment. We can nitpick every game and say, well, we did this good, but we got to do this. But they're never going to play perfect. Nobody ever.
Is he talking about himself?
For once in our life, in our fandom here, enjoy the moment of watching these kids produce at an early level and enjoy the success we're having. Let's not freaking break it down to every detail and what's going to happen in the future. Enjoy the present. I know it's hard, but let's just do it for one time in our life, Louisville fans. That's it. Later, guys.
And if Joel's telling you that,
Steve, let me take care of this one.
Okay.
What just happened, people, what you just heard on that phone call is why I do what I do. It's why I do what I do on a daily basis. Because here's the thing. It's my push. It's my push that somebody thinks is sunshine and rainbows. Like I'm trying to manufacture, you know, oh, you're just trying to make everything look. And I say, no, things are so much better than you realize most of the time. But you get caught up in a bunch of negative people and a bunch of negative attitude. It's being fed on your TV. It's been fed on your radio. It's fed on social media, a bunch of negative attitude. Joel, in a previous life, was the guy who couldn't take a win and just enjoy it in the moment. He was that guy in a former life. Resurrected Joel just called today. And I've been fighting the fight with Joel for 3 years. Listen, Lamar Jackson, look, yeah, but he missed that wide open wide receiver. Look, I've been fighting with Joel, but the Puma, I've been fighting fights about Joel not enjoying the moment for 3 years straight on this phone line. Today, I claim victory. And he's the reason I do it. I will not give up until people realize enjoying the moment is so much funner than waiting for a looming disaster. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
You have reinvigorated me in my fight for positivity in the world. You know, yeah, because sometimes you say, man, Steve, the world is just, y'all are just going to be idiots. And then sometimes you just don't want to fight, right? You just want to give up the fight, Steve, and just say, listen, if y'all just want to lay in front of a TV and inject food into your body and and just sit in the house, then just do it.
Yeah.
But Joel just told me no.
Keep the resurrected Joel.
The resurrected Joel.
Yeah.
From now on, Brian, the resurrected Joel. Alex, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Man, I almost hung up because everything I had to say pretty much, you know, Joe kind of said it. But first, I want to give a shout out to Reggie. Reggie is my homie. He just had a little baby girl. She's healthy, so I just want to shout out to Reggie.
Congrats.
But man, like exactly what I was gonna say. I am really, for the first time in a long time, I'm just sitting back and just enjoying this team because I really didn't expect much. I mean, with COVID going on and all these people, and you know, Samuel Williamson hurt, and you know, the list goes on. All the negativity. I was like, look, I am already stressed out about COVID. I'm just going to watch Louisville and just have a good time because football season was trash. I was disappointed in that. But I'm just going to watch this Louisville team. And now they're pissing me off because now I'm like, oh, my goodness, when Samuel Williamson comes back, when this guy comes back. Now I'm trying to brace myself like, no, just have a good time because this Western Kentucky team, I watched Western Kentucky play West Virginia. I don't, and this is the problem that I'm having, like mentally going on in my mind. Western Kentucky, when they played West Virginia, I was terrified because I thought Western Kentucky was going to play us just as hard, and we weren't going to have an answer for their two big men. I don't know if we're just that good, or if it wasn't like I'm really struggling internally, but at the same time, like, it doesn't matter. We got that W. We got some fantastic young players. I actually don't want anybody to come back. I want everybody to stay hurt for the rest of the season because I just really love these guys playing, and I'll take it off there.
No, Alex, listen, I appreciate the call. I know you don't mean that. And when it comes to styles, Coach Mack has a different style. But if you're gonna embrace the rebound, the pack line, you remember when Virginia really started changing their culture where they started like cheering or celebrating shot clock violations, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It took them a while here, but here's the thing. We're not going to be a Virginia style, but we already have fans that roar for the shot clock violation. Like we already have all the foundation in place. But if Mac gives you the hard playing kid, just the heart determined kid, it'll listen. It'll secure your next generation of Louisville fans.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree, man. And that's what I say. You're watching this team and you're going, okay, I'm starting to get the vibe like it's almost going to be kind of like, oh man, like if they go up to Wisconsin, and they take a loss to a very, very good Wisconsin team, it's almost going to kind of be like, man, they're actually going to lose. Like I'm going to wait. Like I'm going to have to wait until the horn goes off to like, well, they didn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's
listen, I think we had this conversation at some point post game yesterday. Sometimes I get lost kind of between the on air and the streaming, but when you look at those guys and you watch them play, I was kind of telling Steve, it looks like they're interested in winning the possession. Like it. Okay, Coach Mack in the press conference talked about, teams and their ownership. And I'll tell you, last year, when I'm irritated with Coach Mack, I'll say, stop telling everybody it's about them taking ownership on their own. No, you take ownership of the team. You micromanage the team. You help him work on this part of his game or that part of his game. But when you start seeing what it really looks like, ownership of winning the possession, it's why JJ Traynor in his second and third and fourth game in college in a pressure situation, you see the ball get swung to him, and when he's open, he shoots it. And he's not known as a three-point. Aiden Gahan has been in the doghouse since he's been on campus in the uniform. He gets a free throw. He gets in the game. He gets a free throw jump shot look. Bang. Absolutely no hesitation. I have not seen freshmen, Steve, that aren't supposed to be, quote unquote, offensive, go-to guys. I have not seen guys come in so loose and confident with their shots. Like I since the one dude who set the freshman, opening scoring record, Marcus Maven. Yeah, that kid. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Oh, what up, Marcus? What up, Steve?
Feeling good.
The thing I like about this team is when they get down, they don't panic. And when they up by a couple of points, they know how to manage the lead. Like, normally, you have to wait till gaps out in their junior, senior years to face adversity. But being that this team's young, able to do that right now, that's a great feeling.
Lawrence, I appreciate the call. Point guards and high IQ guards make it feel like a different sport.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a great call from Lawrence right there, because they do feel like I panicked yesterday when Western's coming down and they're hitting a bunch of shots, and then they have that little stretch and we make a couple mistakes and they come down, they hit that three, they go up 25-17. I panic and I go, okay, look, I'm looking at my son going because he's yelling at the TV, and I'm looking at
some of your stories involving your child lately, Steve, have been the best.
I know.
When you told a story when your son said, "Come on, hit these free throws," and you looked at him and said, "Son, there's no way he's going to hit these."
Yeah, there's no chance here. So I looked at him last night, and I'm like, Elijah, chill out, man. They're missing 4 dudes. Like, they're probably not going to win this game. Like, I'm setting him up for that. But then I'm watching it, just how they go when they get down, they go into possession mode. You can see it. They go into tournament possession mode, and they start to, okay, 1 bucket, get a stop. 1 bucket, get a stop.
For the kills.
Yeah, and then you look up, Carlik Jones hitting a 3, and all of a sudden it's 27-25, and you're going, wait a minute, we're right back in this game just a few minutes later. And then on the flip side of that, to Lawrence's credit, when they secure that lead outside of that stretch against Seton Hall, where they kind of went on a 4-minute lull there,
right?
For the most part, they stay aggressive, and they have pushed those leads out. So yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch, and that's a nice recipe for success. So.
Chris the plumber, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Turn that radio down in the background if you can.
Hey, Marcus and Steve.
How's it going?
Long time listener, first time caller to your all show.
Thank you.
I just have one question, and I'll take the answer off air. Do you guys think that this team can finally beat Kentucky? Thanks.
Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it.
There's
man.
no way you're a long time listener, Chris. There is no way you would ask that question at 10:55 if you were a long time listener. We just got Joel to get everybody to enjoy the moment. I'm not talking about Kentucky. I'm not talking about. I'm gonna play Rock Chalk Jayhawk. I'm gonna play Richmond. Rich what? Richmond. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the forced forecasting. And again, even when you say finally,
Let me go right to break.
Is your bedroom, sunroom, or room over the garage too hot in the summer, maybe too cold in the winter? BJ Heating and Cooling, your local factory authorized Bryant dealer, has teamed up with Bryant Ductless Equipment, whatever it takes to make that room enjoyable again. Bryant mini splits are quiet, efficient, and avoid the installation of bulky ductwork. Give BJ Heating and Cooling a call today to schedule your free estimate and get 0% financing for 3 years with approved credit. Call the experts you can trust at BJ Heating and Cooling.
now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
I'm Ethan Moore. And I'm Taylor Lynch. Check out Louisville Sports Live, the city's longest running all U of L sports talk show, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here on 93.9 The Ville.
All the best local and national guests talking all things Louisville football, basketball, and recruiting.
Every Wednesday at 6 right here on 93.9 The Ville. And follow us on Twitter at Elville Sports without an O live.
And check out the website, LouisvilleSportsLive.net. Go Cards.
Visit Shane Company for gifts of fine jewelry in every price range, wrapped with a burgundy bow and ready to give. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
For over 25 holiday seasons, Cox's has stocked your seasonal favorites and the best gift sets around. With multiple area locations, We make it convenient to buy what your friends and family really want. Happy holidays from Cox's.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand. From the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a five-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com. And tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Great Flood Brewing Company. Mention ESPN Louisville for a discount on your next appetizer at the Middletown location only. The Cards were in action last night and made it 4 wins in a row with their defeat over Western Kentucky 75-54. The Cards were led by freshman Dre Davis, who finished with 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Carleek Jones added 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And David Johnson had 17 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. After the game, Coach Mack talked to the media, and he gave an injury update on forward Samuel Williamson.
He ran through our shoot-around. He had no problem getting up and down the floor, shooting, jumping. It was a little bit of the lateral stuff, which is the way that his dislocation occurred. That was expected by our trainer, Fred. So we'll see. If he makes the same improvement he did from yesterday to today, then we may feel good about him playing some against UNCG.
Cards are back in action on Friday when they're set to take on UNC Greensboro at the KFC Yum Center. On to the Kentucky side, the Cats fell for the second straight time, this time to Kansas, 65-62 in the Champions Classic. DJ Boston led the way for the Cats with 12 points and 6 rebounds, and they'll look to snap their losing streak on Sunday when they take on Georgia Tech. The number 5 ranked Louisville women's basketball team continues to prepare for their matchup against number 20 DePaul on Friday. That'll be at the KFC Yum Center as well. Moving on to football, the University of Louisville football team has announced yet another scheduling change. They will now play Wake Forest on December 12th as opposed to December 19th to close out their season. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that we'll be carrying the Jimmy V Classic tonight, beginning with our coverage of Gonzaga and West Virginia at 6:30 on our sister station, ESPN 680. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288, or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn.
Is Which already here?
Professional, affordable, Bosch Lawn Care.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
93.9 is the number. 93.9.
Get that out of there kind of quick. Come on. What a song, though. I love that song.
I know you totally did not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't expect me to keep it running like that. We come back. Let's see. Not going to read that one. That one's a little long for my eyesight. Sorry, Texter, if I can't get to that one. Okay, so let's get. We kind of went into the individual, Steve. Okay, what I want to do right now, separate the Carleek, separate the David, and are we going to separate the Dre Davis superlatives and talk about the rest of the guys? Yeah, I think that's fair because I mean they were obviously on the stat sheet.
They were like the three. They were like the better. They were the best players out there.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yesterday they were making big play after big play. So yeah, those three. I think there's less of a.
Let me ask you this, and this question is not necessarily mine. It's coming from the traffic we're getting.
No sound on the YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
No, I Mr. Bipolar, the sound is on. I can see it.
Okay, sorry. I was just trying to tell him. Okay. By the way, that's the guy's name. You wasn't calling me that. To the listeners. People are like, dang, Mark's a jerk.
Right. Thank you for cleaning that up, Steve. Yes, on the YouTuber, that's actually his handle. I will say that. Yes, sorry, texters. Sorry about that. The Aiden conversation, right? We're not rooting him, right? They're just saying that he's coming along.
We're rooting him a little bit. And I don't totally mind it this season. I get what you're saying, and I don't think we're totally like, but I mean, 11 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds. And we're pretty excited about what he did. That's Rudy.
2 points,
area.
2 rebounds, a missed dunk, and a couple of bad calls on him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, I'm just saying I'm okay with, and you guys know what we mean by rooting, but I'm okay if somebody said, yeah, I mean, come on, guys, like 11 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 points. But if you're a fan of this team and you're enjoying this team, then you enjoy what he's bringing just as far as his body, what he, moving the ball, like the little things you see are there are definitely pieces there to say, hey, this guy could be a really good player for us. I mean, this could be a starting center for us, at some point down the line, maybe not this year, but,
right.
Obviously next year or the year after. So, I think people are definitely in on watching him and they're excited. But yeah, I mean, 11 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds. I don't totally always go by the stat line. But he didn't fill it up. I mean, but still, like that Charles, the and one doesn't show up. That doesn't show up. It doesn't show up that he got into position and went straight up on Charles Bassey and got the and one.
And you and I had a bit of a theory on the Aiden thing, just as far as his stature, and it looks like the referees are going to treat him a little funny.
They did yesterday, and unfortunately, he was the victim of a couple calls, man. That was the one he put his forearm in Bassey's chest. The ref come over and said something.
Yeah, like had a full meeting.
Yeah, and then Aiden kind of just being Aiden puts, I'm not going to let him.
He put his elbow right back into his chest.
My coach will kill me if I let him walk right to the dotted line. You kidding me?
So here's the problem though. Bassey comes right around, sets a screen. Hollingsworth comes off the screen. Aiden steps over. Ref blows the whistle. It's like he anticipated that Aiden was going to like stick his leg out or something, and he didn't.
And listen, and my theory on it, people, this is a reach theory on this one. But when Aiden comes in the game, 15 minutes into the game or something, or whenever he comes in, a referee will look at Aiden and say, "There's a reason you haven't been in the game." Like there's no way a guy who looks like you is just now coming into this game, unless you're just a Hulk, a literal Hulk.
Yeah, like an enforcer, and
Yeah.
you're going to foul a lot.
Right.
You're going to be sure, and I'm okay with that, and I understand that, and I know that that's going to be something he's facing. But then the other one was McKnight comes down the lane, and I saw it on the condensed version you sent me this morning. I watched that right
I
before I
actually
went
didn't
on the
mean to
air.
send it. I was trying to send it to myself.
Well, it's okay because I like to watch those like right before I come on the air because it just kind of refreshes the whole game. But I mean, McKnight comes down the lane, takes it, shoots it, ball goes in, whistle blows. And they call it on Aiden. And it's like, did you just, because it looked awkward, you
Right.
called it on him? So, yeah, I thought he caught a couple, but he's going to. He's going to catch those. And I don't think that, I'm not even blaming that on bad officiating. Like, I kind of get it. You know, I understand where they're coming from with that. But Cardinal Cam said on here on the stream, his stats, his impact definitely wasn't felt totally in the stat line. I agree with that.
100%. Chris, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, Nathan Rummage?
Feeling good.
Rummage, what'd you feed little Dre today for breakfast?
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. I haven't addressed that yet. That we called Xavier, my youngest, Dre, the entire night because he was so good that I'm not going to wait for another child. I'm just going to change his name. So yeah, it was awesome.
People, he was really confusing his child by calling him Dre all night last night. It borderlined on insanity.
Hey, just putting an expectation on him early. So here's my question for you. I'm listening to Mac last night, and he says it's a lot easier for these guys to play with the comfort level they're playing because when they look over, they know there's no substitution. Do you think that gives them that relaxed feeling that they can play through mistakes? And then also, do you think it's a little easier for them not to play in front of 22,000 every night, yelling and screaming, where they can actually hear the instructions that the coaches are giving them? Do you think that's kind of a perfect storm for these new guys? Because I know last year when Sam played, he was always looking over his shoulder because either Dwayne was coming to get him or Nora was coming to get him because he just didn't have that freedom to play like these guys have played. And I think that's really helped him. I'll get off and I'll listen to what you think about that.
I appreciate the call. You know what I'll say? I've been kind of developing my theories on the effect of little to no crowd. And here's the thing. I would maybe agree with that, but you also have to add in practice. It's not just the game and worried about getting subbed out. They're the only guys like going at each other in practice every day. Mm-hmm. So they're comfortable getting fixing their mistakes, on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you had a full roster, full team practicing, Coach Mack will probably be snatching you out in practice too when you're messing up. So mixed practice injury numbers and game numbers. And I think Coach Mack, in a quiet moment, he would agree that he's loosened up a little bit too. Like because last year you could tell you put a young guy in, he's ready to just like assault him on the court. You know what I'm saying? You could just see the look. I think he's loosened up and saying, "Hey, I gotta let these guys, get through a couple plays." Also, couple people talking about Jimmy Dykes. I've gotten quite a few text messages about Jimmy Dykes, Steve.
Yeah, he sucks. He just, yeah. I mean, like when he calls a UK game, I mean, it's just. I mean, now let me say this. I think he sucks because I don't like what he's saying. So, I mean, but yeah, when he calls a Kentucky game, he just slobbers over him, man. Just like, oh my gosh, it's this. And then yesterday, it was just, for one, he puts a lot of emphasis on Louisville. And there is part of me that thinks like, dude,
you're doing that on purpose.
If you were around UK as much as you were, like Louisville fans don't like Louisville. And he does it like every time. He'll say, well, I mean, and Louisville has it. And it's like, okay, dude, you're trying really hard with it. And then it was just the constant, like he always has a reason. And like you can physically hear the tone of his voice go down when Louisville starts pulling away. Like, and then of course he's still professional. So, he gives Louisville the compliment on the court and stuff. But like the best thing he said about Louisville all night was, this bird in the middle is the best court in America.
Thank you. I did enjoy him talking about that.
Thank you, Jimmy. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you call an entire game, and the best thing. Oh well, of course, great. Thank you, sir.
I mean,
I appreciate
look
that.
at the bird. It has the Adidas logo on the shoes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, we know, dude. But yeah, I know I'm not a fan of his, but it's okay. I mean, I just turned it down. I'm like, whatever. I'm not listening to you call this game, but so be it.
I was not like.
Back to I think it might have been Chris's question. The question,
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
Chris.
Yes.
Okay. I think to tag on, I think, and I might be saying kind of what you were saying, but I really think that the injuries have helped more so than the crowd. Crowd does matter. It does, because you can, but crowd really matters when you're, a lot of times when you're on the road. Louisville wouldn't have been on the road very often, even if the schedule had stayed normal. You know, they would have been neutral out there in Vegas, which would have been probably majority Louisville fans, but still wouldn't have been a lot. And the other games would have pretty much been at home. So you can hear Coach Mack. You know, I mean, like, I don't think I think the injuries have changed the mindset of some of these guys, because when Malik goes down, starter, Charles goes down, starter, Sam now has opened it up a little bit. Nickelberry's not there, so there's more room. That opens up rotation.
You sit out
elsewhere.
Sam for next game, right?
I know if he's ready. I'd love for him to get a good game under his belt before you go to Wisconsin.
Okay,
yeah, you got to have him. I mean, you to even have a shot up there, you've got to have him. But
stick with the coaching part of it.
Yeah, but I think that
the coaching player mentality.
Yeah, the player. I think that that started to happen, and that changes. Not that you didn't have hunger and drive, but I think that the extra drive and hunger and opportunity has locked some of these guys in even more so than they would have been. And I think that's been a bigger deal than the no crowd. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
no. Listen, and I'm trying to gauge the reaction of the players and what are making the better teams like right now, because you can't deny, like, Louisville's playing. A texter texted earlier. I didn't want to skip over, but I did read their comment. The swinging of the basketball during the game, the ball movement, the cutting, you know, like, Louisville has looked like a well-coached team. You could look, like, if you see a Western Kentucky, if you look at the whole game in its replay, somebody could say, I think Coach Mack outcoached Western Kentucky in this game.
He coached circles around Stansbury last night.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's like very rarely do you get to definitively say something like that. Because, like, when you talk about, like, who won the coaching battle for UK Kansas? See, that's all I needed. Yeah. That's all I needed is you to go, I don't know, you know, because that game was players against players. And our ribbing, our jabbing at UK is maybe the lack of coaching impact sometimes it looks like there is, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're getting into areas like, now coaches have been able to basically quarantine with their players, so it's only coaching. You know, it's only day-to-day practice. It's only day-to-day coaching. Your coaches are like some of the only outside, interaction you're even halfway getting, like in real life, right?
Sure.
So are we seeing a thing where the coaches okay, you know how in football it seemed like the teams that just had the self-motivated players were the better players, were the better teams, right? So it's almost like the coaching not being there affected a different way. So when I look at the basketball, I'm like, is the coaching really like showing up more now?
Well, you have to think. I mean, to your point,
and I don't know about this. I'm just kind of I'm thinking about, like I said, the product of basketball I saw, and it just looked like some of the coaches who were just like locked in with their guys, like really, like, who have a good tight grip on their players. You know what I'm saying? Who have their
Yeah.
attention.
Well, I mean, think about it. Louisville hasn't left the Galt House since they got there before that 2 days before the Evansville game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't left the Galt House. They've been at the Galt House or the Center. That's it. I mean, they're so, I mean, they are getting constant. Even Jimmy Dykes was talking about yesterday. He said that he was Coach Mack allowed him into the film and he was explaining just how they were, this is what they do all day. I mean, it's tournament setting. I mean, do you remember when we go to back in the day when there was NCAA tournament and you could go to them and you go to the team hotel and every once in a while you see the team march through as a team and then they're going into the conference room and then they're going, they're going to the big room to eat and then they're going over to the theater room because they're having film. That's kind of the life Louisville's been living for over a week now. So I'm not surprised that someone who is so talk to your Coach Mack is he's a very what's the word I can use here? He coaches very what's the word I'm looking for? On the court, he's very active in what's happening.
Yeah, involved.
Yeah. He's very active in what's happening.
Actually, I kind of think he's just active on the defensive end.
I agree with that, but I'm saying mentality wise, because on offense, I think a lot of times is what he does. He draws up plays like he did for David yesterday. He literally, if you'll notice, there was one play where Louisville was throwing the ball in, and Dre Davis ran down the court. He looked at Carleek. He told Carleek something. He ran over and he told Quinn something, and he took off back down the court. And I was like, okay, he's told them, we're going to do something offensively. The only thing I noticed that they did offensively was they double screened. They brought David around and they got David on the post one-on-one, and they basically shifted the whole floor. And it was David, one guy, and everybody else on the other side. So it's like Coach Mack's philosophy is very much put guys in one-on-one position and then let them make a play. I mean, and that's what and that's why Dre Davis has. I'm not trying to get too far down this wormhole, but that's why Dre Davis has succeeded, I think, so well, is because he is very good at one-on-one basketball. You can tell.
How did Jalen Withers look to you last night? Brian Hall, how did Jalen Withers look to you last night?
I thought he looked good. I mean, I think he finished with 9 rebounds. I mean, I know his point total might not have been where he wanted.
9 rebounds. 8.
What was it?
8 points, 9 rebounds.
Okay. I think that he hit that top of the elbow jumper a couple times, which I think is good, kind of like Gorgie does. I think he did fine for what he was supposed to do, because you got to consider he was the guy that was kind of going up against Bassie, and you got to realize that Bassie might be the best shot blocker he's going to go up against, and that can be an intimidating thing. I mean, I saw a couple times I'm a little hesitant to go up against Bassie because I think Bassie sent it back at him one time, and I think
that first one was good.
That was pretty brutal.
I'm glad Bassie punched on Jalen too.
No, it's good. It's good for the growth.
Yeah, get it out your system. You will get dunked on. Get it out your system, Jalen. I do like you went for the block. He punched on you.
I think it was probably just it was a guy who's not, I'm going to say a freshman, a guy who was a freshman out there in his first real intimidating matchup, where he's going up against a guy who's physically bigger than him. Yeah, a junior, and like I said,
actually, I don't know,
known as a shot blocker.
I don't know, Brian. Jalen Withers was going up against Steven Enoch all year last year.
No, it's true, but I would say that Bassie's a better shot blocker as far as like intimidation. Yeah. But physicality, they're the same, I would say.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I was pretty pleased with the way Withers went up against a guy like that, because it's going to be one of the tougher opponents he sees all year, and he played his game. He stuck to his game. He hit the jumpers, and he got his rebounds, and that's all we need out of the big man.
And he didn't look like he didn't cower to the 3-point line. That's what I also like that too. Instead of you pull guys out to blow around them instead of just like I said, just run into jump shots.
I thought he was very solid last night. I mean, the only thing I will say is I get what Brian's saying, like he was hesitant a few times, but I almost the only knock I kind of had was I think he went at Bassie too many times without the tools to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one time he floated it up and he got it blocked. The one time we talked about it on the stream last night when he bumped into him and kind of gave Bassey a boost. Bassey pitched it. I mean, Bassey blocked Jalen 4 times.
And Jalen's going to have to come up with a jump stop and hard pump fake, right?
Very much.
Very a jump stop and a hard pump fake will get him. And here's the thing. When you get these guys in the air, I know the commentator said Coach Mack stressed this. I don't know if this is one of those things you can't coach into somebody. I think you can by drills in practice. Like if you get somebody in the air and if you move out the way or you side dribble, we don't do that here. Like you can't let people off the hook. I watched, if anybody watched the game last night, if you watched when Sarr got his last or got like his 4th foul, listen, he's on a fast break. Guy just kind of like sidestep runs into him. You got to learn how to get these fouls to get guys up off you like that, Mm-hmm. So like that's one of those things like Coach Mack, Coach Gaudio, Coach McGee. This is one of those things like you won't be an up and under. You won't be able to excel until you get guys capitalizing on getting fouled. A lot more.
No, I agree with that 100%. And
Jalen Withers is definitely one of those guys.
He is especially. But I have a little grace for Jalen being basically. I mean, you're the 5 now. I mean, and I think that was a little bit different for what he did. And when you play a big man like Bassey, it's tough not to get drawn into his game.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough not to, and look, you want to go into him. I mean, you want to, I get that mentality too. Hey, if I can go into him and maybe the refs are going to call a foul. It was pretty clear they weren't going to last night. Like, they were kind of letting Bassey play a little bit. Now, I mean, that's okay. Different refs or different officials have different styles, and you could tell that they weren't going to take Bassey out of that game last night. Like, you could tell that, and that happens, So, I think again, I mean, him and Trainer together. I mean, our 2, and I kind of count 2 bigs. I guess I could count. I'll throw Aiden in there. Yeah. I mean, they ended up with 19 and 16 between all 3. I mean, if I can get 19 and 16 from those 3, I feel pretty comfortable, right, against about anybody. I mean, if I'm gonna look at somewhere around 18 and 14 is about an average,
especially if our guards are gonna rebound. We're gonna have to come back. Last commercial break. We're gonna have to do our grades. Props on stock up, stock down. Steve, props on your 3-on-3 draft. I had to throw that out there. Didn't want to let that go past. Last commercial break. Ben Diggs and Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
Hey, Cards fans. Zach here from Great Flood Brewing with a friendly reminder that we have a number of carryout options for you this season. Growlers for beer, cocktails to go, and delicious food, as well as a heated Middletown restaurant. Growlers, cans, and a patio with heaters are available at our Highlands location. Please stop by. We'd love to say hello and can't wait to see you all soon. Call 502-208-0882 to reach your preferred location or follow us at Great Flood Beer, Great Flood Middletown on social media for updates. Thanks again.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
Skip the mall this holiday season and come to Shane Company, where shopping's safer and easier than ever. To keep everyone safe, we're taking extra precautions, including temperature screenings, mandatory masks, and social distancing. We've also installed a new air purification system with state-of-the-art technology. To make shopping easy for you, we have curated holiday gifts wrapped with a bow and ready to give. This year, one of my favorites is our exclusive star pendant with a natural ice blue sapphire for $165. It's the perfect gift for the star in your life. Another favorite? our elegant cultured pearl pendant with diamond accents for $465. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com. Open weekdays 9 till 9, Saturday 10 till 8, and Sunday 11 to 5.
I'm Ethan Moore.
And I'm Taylor Lynch.
Check out Louisville Sports Live, the city's longest running all U of L sports talk show, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here on 93.9 The Ville.
All the best local and national guests talking all things Louisville football, basketball, and recruiting.
Every Wednesday at 6 right here on 93.9 The Ville. And follow us on Twitter at Elville Sports without an O Live.
And check out the website, LouisvilleSportsLive.net. Go Cards.
Terry Miners here for Scheller's Fitness and Cycling with a huge sale going on now. Of course, they carry bikes for every member of the family, and they're taking pre-orders on hard-to-find models from Trek and Electra, so plan ahead. Scheller's has the largest selection of fitness equipment around. We're talking treadmills, ellipticals, water rowers, home gyms, and spin bikes. Everybody loves working out at home now. And Scheller's is your #1 fitness and cycling retailer in this region. So buy local, 4 area locations. Scheller's has 12 months, no interest financing. Online, Schellers.com.
We're proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Focus. Try it today.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
After all we've been through this year, Genesis Diamonds wants to help make your 2020 end on a truly magical note with an over-the-top holiday gift your loved one will cherish forever. So we're offering the most aggressive financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase with nothing down. Imagine getting the Halo engagement ring of her dreams for only $100 a month. A diamond tennis bracelet or stunning eternity band for only $50 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for just $30 a month and with no money down. Everything's included. All GIA certified diamonds, all engagement rings, all wedding rings, 3 and 5 stone rings, dainty diamond studs, our new and trendy diamond hoops, diamond tennis bracelets, emerald and sapphire jewelry, Swiss timepieces. Genesis has the best bridal designers in the world, plus a selection like that of 50 stores combined. Let Genesis Diamonds non-commissioned experts help you find that perfect gift. Buy it with no money down and finance it for 5 years at 0% interest. Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open this Sunday on approved credit.
Mike Greenberg, Greeny.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC for the next 15 years because they have that kid. So in the same way that Michael Jordan should have won a bunch more MVPs and LeBron James should have won a bunch more MVPs, Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. We should rename the MVP award the Patrick Mahomes Award and just give it to whoever is second.
Catch Greeny from 12 to 2 p.m. on 93.9 The Ville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
People, temperature control is one of the most valuable resources one could have if you agree. Then DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Inquire about their Mitsubishi Mini Split for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com.
Also, you know, I love being down here in Tennessee. I really do. It's beautiful down here. It's fun. But days like today, it hurts my heart. Days like Which Wednesday
I'm
at
taking your
ESPN
sandwich.
Louisville. No, of course you will. I know you're a savage. I've never look. You never talk about Jack again with the mound of pizza you walked out of there with last week. Thanks to Jason and his team for bringing by lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios. It's Which Wednesday. Be sure to get carry-out or curbside delivery from the Hurstbourne or Brownsboro Crossing location for lunch or dinner. Try the ESPN Louisville special. That's a large Which for just $6.80. That's only for call-in orders. Which superior sandwiches.
Support your restaurants and businesses as much as humanly possible, people.
Absolutely.
Are restaurants going to turn into speakeasies and basement bars? And are we going back to real like restaurant prohibition?
Yeah, prohibition stuff. We're gonna have whiskey, just you know.
Yeah, just look, 2 knocks.
Go down the stairs to the left, under that doorway on the left, and then double knock.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it sounds like I know there's a few restaurants that said they're giving it to the 15th, and they're opening on back up.
I know I've told this before, but Grandma, I love you. Grandma was the local bootlegger in Asheville, North Carolina, right? And
nothing wrong with that.
She did her thing. So when I was Elijah's age, Steve,
yeah,
I was pouring shots for people walking up and down to the bus station. Like there was a neighborhood, you know, to the right of my house, you know, down at the bottom of the street, and at the top of the street there was the bus station. So people coming home from work or going to work would stop in there. They would sit at the bar in the dining room. We had one of those 3-person bars, and I would look. I knew it was either the blue bottle, the red, or the blue top, the red top, or what. They would say, you know, can I get a shot of bourbon? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Grandma, you know, June want a shot of bourbon. You know?
Yeah.
And I just pour it, bring it to them. They stood in there, mind their business. I said, go back watching my cartoons. So guess what the world is going to turn into really, really soon, Steve?
Just a bunch of kids pouring bourbon
for the adults that have to bootleg. Because you're closing down bars. But yeah,
that is funny. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting, man, to see over the next couple weeks how that goes down.
Okay,
you know?
so grading time. What do you want to start with?
Oh, man, well, I mean, we know. I say we start at the top. I mean, there's 3 right off the top that we can start with. I mean, we can do them individually.
A minus David Johnson.
I'm going A, David Johnson. Yeah, I'm probably going to give David Johnson an A+. I thought he was good on both ends of the floor.
A minus. Brian, David Johnson.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go A. I think his defense also added a little bit to what I was talking about earlier about the Western Kentucky point guards being rattled. I think a taller point guard against them. I think defense on top of his offensive game. I'll
never give him
just straight up A.
I'll never give him an A+. And I'll never give. You're gonna have to beat an A+ out of me. Carleek,
I thought Carleek was an A. Yeah, I thought he was solid. I thought he's doing what 4 games in we're already coming to expect. About 15, 17, you know, 4, 5, and 5.
Isn't it amazing how those, like, his skills transfer in the sport of basketball? Like,
yeah,
it's just fascinating, right?
No, it is. It is, man. And I mean, it is a calming thing to know you have him walking that ball up the court. and how he pulls that ball out at times and just resets everything. It's definitely a calming thing as a fan.
You know what I'm happiest about, Steve? That I can trust my eyeballs. That I can say, okay, that kid can play, and he's going to play early. And you're Dre Davis, like he can play people. Like I'm not going to, my eyeballs tell me David Johnson can play at when I see him at Trinity, like you can tell he can compete at the highest level of basketball with a little bit of extra, fine tuning or whatever. Okay. So we got A and DeAndre Davis is probably going to be in that A.
Yeah,
category.
Absolutely, man.
I'll even give him an A, not even an A-. Dre Davis gets an A.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm giving Dre an A as well, man. I thought he was awesome. I mean, there were so many moments where, like, even where Western went up a few buckets and we get that steal, loose ball. Dre gets it, makes a spin move, goes up and score. I mean, he did everything you needed him to do yesterday. I mean,
go ahead.
I was going to say, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, so, I don't know how much rebounding is a part of his game. I do know he come up with one big one, though. I mean, so,
I think he likes offensive rebounding more than defensive.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I tend to agree with that. So, I mean, I don't know how harshly to judge him on the rebounding aspect of it yet. That's something we're still learning with him. So we'll see.
Quinn Sislinski.
I gave Quinn a C. He was the one last night that I was like, we're just not getting a lot out of him, man. I mean, now I will say I thought David and Carleek missed him a couple times for some open looks, but he felt a little not lost,
a little slow. Yep.
Yeah, and that worried me for him. Looking ahead, because looking ahead at Kentucky and Duke and those teams, and I was like,
that's my one holdout with him. Like, I don't know about his conditioning level, or I don't know if he's heavy footed or something. I worry about him being heavy footed.
Yeah, so I'll go C for him because I just didn't think he did a lot. I mean, he had 3 boards. I mean, I thought he made a couple.
I'll go back
plays.
and watch it again and see how he moved because, like I said, if he's in his lane to cut off penetration, and I didn't really notice it. If he, if there were some things that he did that I didn't notice, maybe I'll give him a C. But right now, I'm kind of like D+, category.
Yeah,
dude, my expectations give you a D+ on this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Brian Hall Quinn.
I'm gonna go a little bit lower than you guys. I'm gonna say C+, and it's not necessarily that he didn't play good, but when you get no points and you only got 3 rebounds, but like you said, he showed up more than the stat sheet actually played for. But I'm going to give him a C for last night.
You literally gave him the highest grade.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We got some construction going on next door. I don't know if you can hear it, Steve.
I can't, but I'm happy about that.
Quinn, Texas says Quinn is acting a little shy. What do you get, JJ Traynor?
JJ Traynor was a B. Yeah, I thought he was good. I mean, he knocked that 3 down. I mean, he didn't hesitate on that. I thought he'd come up with a couple boards. Thought he was pretty good defensively. I mean, he guarded Carson Williams, who's a 6'5".
I'm glad you said that.
Load.
I thought Carson Williams was going to take advantage of everybody. You know what? I'm going to give Jay a B- because I just thought about it. A couple of basketballs slipped through his fingertips. A couple of rebounds.
Okay. Yeah.
It ended up like you could have drew over the back on Carson Williams. You could have came up with a basketball in a couple of situations. So I'm gonna B- you.
It's not bad.
B- barely.
Yeah.
B- on that one. B Hall, JJ Traynor.
B+. I thought that he was actually one of the more impressive players in the game just because he was a guy that came in and gave us some valuable minutes. He played 27 minutes with 9 points and 5 rebounds. He also hit a 3-pointer at one point.
What was the stat line again?
Played 27 minutes. He was 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3 with 9 points and 5 rebounds. but I think his presence was felt a little bit more. You know, he was one of those guys that I was talking about going into the game that was heavily recruited by Western Kentucky, and I knew that he probably wanted to prove I'm at Louisville for a reason. And, you know, I don't know. To me, he was very impressive with how he handled Carson Williams, because Carson Williams is smaller than JJ Traynor, but he's much more physical. Like, you know, he's a thick body, and I think that's a good lesson for JJ Traynor, you know, to be able to handle undersized, powerful guys like that. Because Carson Williams, he's one of those guys. I don't know what he ended up with last night. I think he still got a good rebound total. Let's see. He had 7 rebounds, but Carson Williams is one of those guys that usually is in the double digits in rebounds almost every game. He's just an expert rebounder. Like he pushes people around and he crashes the glass hard. The fact that, you know, JJ Traynor got 5 rebounds against him and was able to pretty much take Carson Williams out of the game, at least offensively. He only had 3 points.
You won me over B++ Jay Traynor. Listening to you, listen to his stat line, thinking about what he did, B++ for JJ Traynor. You're right about that. Yeah, thinking about the load that Carson Williams is and what he, like I said, if he's 3 for 5, you got me.
Williams only had that 1-3 in the first half, and that's not the case usually with Carson Williams.
You know what? And I'm glad I just changed. I'm glad I just changed my answer because I looked over at the text line. It says, I'd hate to have Maben as a professor. Jeez. But, you know, I get that. But here's the thing. My good students, I push them harder than my students that don't want to be here.
That's fair.
Right. Okay. So Trainer, who are we missing?
Aiden.
Okay. Oh, Aiden.
Yeah, go with Aiden. So Aiden's stat line was 11 minutes, 1 of 2 shooting, 2 rebounds and 2 points, and he fouled out. But stats don't tell everything.
So what's your grade?
I'll go first. I'm going to give Aiden. I'm going to give him a B- C+ range. But that's not really like a grade that.
Which one are you giving him?
We'll go with the B-. What did I say?
You said
B+ to C+.
You said C+ to B-.
Oh, okay,
range.
yeah. So I'm gonna say B- because his stats don't impress you when you see 2 points, 2 rebounds in 11 minutes. But what he brought to the team was a lot more, and it was a body that could go in against Bassey. Physically, he was the best. I guess, you know, comparison to Charles Bassey, and he did what he was supposed to do, honestly, and I don't mean this in a bad way towards Aiden. He was meant to go in there and get 5 fouls and foul out of the game and just, you know, give us 10 to 15 minutes. And that's exactly what he did. And he had a couple impressive plays. He almost threw down the dunk of the century. And that was his first missed field goal of the season. And he also had, I guess it was in the first half.
And what he should have got.
The 2 pointers, the 2 points that he got, though, was a high post. It was right at the free throw line, and that was nice to see him knock down a jumper. So
what say you, Steve?
Okay, I'm gonna change things up with you with Aiden. Pass. Yeah, he passed. I'm for the foreseeable future in Mr. Rummage's class. Aiden is pass fail, and he passed last night, I thought. So I think that's a better way for me to do that because Aiden's on a curve. So what I realistically would give Aiden, probably like a C-, but I hate how that comes off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm almost like, no, you passed. It was a passing grade. Good job, Aiden, because you're passing, but we rehabilitated you from all the F's. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Steve's mom or Dre's mom may spank him for a C-, but you're coming along. So yeah, I would, if that makes sense, man. I'm almost for the time being, and I will celebrate when I start to give him grades again. But for the near future, I'm going to give Aiden a pass fail, and I'll go pass on him.
I would not have I would have never graduated without the pass-fail rule in college. So, like, I'm glad.
I get it.
I get what
I'm
you're
glad you
saying,
changed
Steve,
that.
because that's what I was like, the B- to C+, because I was like, he really performed like a C-, but
yeah,
when you consider who he was, who he's going against, and where he,
Yeah, that's
I gave him the B- benefit.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
doubt.
Right, because I really want to be like, oh, hey, A- for Aiden, because I thought you went in there, but it's like, dude, you didn't put up A-.
Yeah,
an A- game at all.
I'll be happy when I can give him a D- for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So Aiden passed. Good job.
He gets the best grade that you can get for 11 minutes with a foul out.
Yeah, yeah.
Foul out in 11 minutes, but he's going to get the highest grade he can get.
The text messages, the YouTube channel last night, everybody was really excited. Was really excited about Aiden.
Absolutely. I believe that.
I got more chat. Okay, coaching staff, game plan. What say you?
I mean, A+. Yeah, I thought they had a great game plan against a guy the caliber of Bassey. And here's the thing: it's Western's not just Bassey. I mean, like Bassey is an elite piece.
Hollingsworth played and looked healthy to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's a heck of a player. Williams a heck of a player.
West Virginia is number 11 in the country, people.
Yeah,
just so you know,
they had West Virginia down by 3 at the half, with Bassey only playing 2.5 minutes that half because he got 2 quick fouls.
Okay, yeah,
and then lost Hollingsworth for a while.
Yeah, and then lost Hollingsworth in the second half.
What, they end up losing by 6?
They end up losing by 6. Yeah, but Hollingsworth didn't play for about 10 to 12 minute stretch in the second half, or maybe not that much, but it was a while. But then Bassey was out from the 16.5 minute mark of the first half, the rest of the half.
Yeah, Western's a good team, man. I mean, and again, they're a good team with an elite guy. Like, you won't see 5 better centers. Now you'll see 5 better teams, 5 better centers than Charles Bassey on this, during this season. I mean, Jay Huff, Garrison Brooks. I'm trying to think of guys that would be in that category, and I think, I'm not saying they're better than Garrison Brooks might be. Huff's not, but I mean, when you go through that list, I mean, Duke's kind of in the boat we are. Duke starts Matthew Hurd at center. I mean, he's 6'8", white kid.
Well, you asked about coaching grades. I'm going to go A+ too. One of the things that I wanted to add on to what Steve said about Coach Mack's coaching was, I thought he made some good second half adjustments, because for the first half, Western hung with Louisville, and it was looked like it was going to kind of be a battle to the very end. Like Steve said, it looked like it was going to come down to the last couple minutes of the game to see who was going to pull away. The very first few minutes of the second half, Louisville came out of halftime and dominated, and basically kind of took charge of the game, and then never looked back at that point. They let Western creep back into about 4 points at one point, but then they put the gas pedal on. And what I like to see at the end of the game was the fact that they continued to push the lead out, because sometimes we get a lead and then we kind of let the team back in, and it kind of just lingers right there.
Good point guard player to do that.
And so I thought the second half performance, the adjustments, and then the fact that the team laid on the gas pedal at the end was partly to do because of the coaching.
4 games in, Steve. 4 games in.
Yeah.
2 seasons and 4 games in.
I'm in love.
What do we rank Coach Mack as a talent evaluator? Or as a recruiter? What grade do we give him as a recruiter?
Listen, I mean, I has to be an A, right? I mean, it has to be. I mean, what? Considering, I mean,
I was waiting to see how long it took you to say considering.
Yeah, considering what he's facing, and look, and here's the thing: if you're going to get me guys like Dre and JJ, that's what I go back and I say with this class coming in next year that other people tried to laugh at. I'm like, as a Louisville fan, would you be mad with Ellis, Bobby Pettiford, Mike James, Roosevelt Wheeler, Vanderheiden? Are you mad at that? I mean, I think this class and this team, I think even if somebody was looking at that class going, ooh, I don't know if I like it, I think it's changed your mind, or it's at least given you, okay, I'm going to trust him with that class. You know, like I think that
You gotta answer that. Hello. See if you went.
I know I'm totally here. I don't know why somebody was calling me like right in the middle, and then it was like, I'm like, why are you calling me? And then I tried to ignore it, but the app shut off. So I was like, oh well, great. But yeah, I mean, I think that you have to give him something, because to go get Dre Davis was outside of the top 100. JJ was outside of the top 100. Like, well, JJ actually might have moved into the top 100, but it's like, come on. You don't think anybody in the country right now wouldn't take Dre Davis?
Anybody in the country would take Dre Davis on their team, and he would be playing basketball. He would be playing.
Yeah.
No
absolutely.
team would he be red shirting on or anything like that.
No. I mean, there may be a couple squads that, maybe Gonzaga, you're behind Kispert or something, but you'd still probably see him. Like maybe not in the role he's in here, but yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have to say his evaluation is absolutely an A.
Brian Hall, another fun show in the books, my man. That felt good. That totally felt good. Shout out